This year is packed with game releases, and this month has some pretty hyped up games coming out, from the Switch to the Xbox and everything in between. I'm your host Retrospect, and today at Opera GX, we're going to be breaking down some of the top games coming out in February. First on our list is Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2. If you wanted Elden Ring combat but without the magic, Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is bringing back its hardcore, realistic medieval RPG gameplay. No dragons, no fantasy, just brutal first-person sword fights, deep RPG mechanics, and a world that of course reacts to your every decision. It's basically kind of like Skyrim, but without spells mixed with mount and blades realism. If you like the first game, this one's doubling down on everything that made it great.
I remember everyone I killed. Are you sure you didn't kill someone's father or mother? War is a nasty business.
Next up on our list is Rift of the NecroDancer, and this is a spin-off from Crypt of the NecroDancer if you guys have played that one. This time we're throwing Cadence into a whole new battle, fighting waves of monsters and bosses, all synced up to the musical beat. Each enemy is going to have unique patterns, kind of like Hi-Fi Rush, but of course it still has that feel, that NecroDancer groove. And on top of the combat, there are rhythm-based minigames, including one where Cadence literally learns to dance. If you're into music-driven chaos with a fresh RPG twist, this one's going to have you locked in.
And together, we'll close the Rift of the NecroDancer.
Next up is Sworn. This is basically Hades meets King Arthur. You play as a knight fighting to reclaim a corrupted Camelot solo or with up to 4 friends in co-op. I love co-op beat-em-up games. They're what I grew up on, so seeing something similar to those but with a modern twist like Hades is really cool. You're gonna have to think fast though, because it is fast-paced roguelike combat. It's got the swords, spells, and some really cool character builds. You've got 4 different knights to choose from as well, each with unique weapons, so the upgrade trees are always going to be unique, making it perfect for anyone who loves that fast, skill-based action with a new, fresh setting. Next on our list is a pretty unique game called Keep Driving. This is a completely nostalgic road trip through the early 2000s. You've just got your first car, it's packed with CDs and guitars, and of course, a nice sense of freedom. It's a management RPG set in a pixel art world where you're cruising through a procedurally generated map, picking up hitchhikers and solving road challenges. You can customize your car, deal with random events like arguments or car troubles, and make decisions that shape your journey. It's kind of like Life is Strange, but the retro vibe is just so cool. If you're into those, you'll love this. This is one I'm definitely going to be picking up. Now to something a little different. Civilization 7 is finally here after almost a decade, but this time it's coming with major upgrades. You're no longer locked into one civilization for the entire game. Now, as the ages progress, you can swap civilizations and leaders, opening up new strats for the whole game. They've also introduced some commanders, a special unit that lets you move entire armies faster, cutting down that tedious micromanagement that a lot of people weren't a fan of. Plus, for the first time, you can even play the entire game set in one single historical era. So whether you prefer the ancient warfare or a bit more modern diplomacy, Civilization 7 is going to give you more control than ever before. For something a little more spooky, Urban Myth Dissolution Center feels like a mix of Ghostwire Tokyo and Persona, but it's got that really cool 2D pixel art style. Here you play as Azami, a college student cursed with clairvoyance, a psychic ability letting her see spirits everywhere she goes. Hoping to get rid of it though, she finds a shady organization who promises to help, but instead they rope her into solving paranormal cases for them. It's got a really cool mix of detective work with social media sleuthing. It's a horror mystery game, so if you're into those, keep an eye on this one. Legacy Steel and Sorcery is the latest project from developers who have spent over a decade working on World of Warcraft. This new fantasy world is going to have RPG progression, crafting, MMO, and you can team up solo or with your friends to explore this world of Mythgard, with the main goal to be grabbing treasures, loot, and trying not to get killed by other players or creatures on the map. Me and my friends have been playing Valheim recently. It's just really fun to run into the woods or get lost somewhere, fight creatures, and bring stuff back. So this seems like it has a pretty similar vibe to it, and I'm really excited to check it out.
I feel not pity nor mercy. For today, I forge my legacy.
Tomb Raider 4 through 6 Remastered is also coming out this month, and this one is really cool. I was not expecting them to bring back Lara Croft in a classic way. These were really huge in the 90s, and now you can relive them on modern hardware with some updated visuals and a bunch of cool new features. But what's really cool is that you can switch back to original graphics whenever you want, so you can get that perfect nostalgia hit. The developers seem like they put a lot of love and care in this because there's tons of new quality of life changes like a photo mode, poses for Lara, boss health bars, achievements that track your progress, and tons of more things. If you're a fan of Lara Croft and love the big adventures, this remaster is one you have to pick up.
Give a girl a break.
Lost Records Bloomin' Rage is the latest narrative adventure from Don't Nod. This is the studio behind Life is Strange. This time you're following 4 friends from a small Michigan town who reunite after almost 30 years. Something happened to them when they were kids, so it's up to you to try and piece together what. The first part of the game drops out on February 18th, and the second is going to be coming out on April 15th. If you're into character-driven stories where you really do get attached to everybody, and you want something with a bit more 90s nostalgia and some garage band practice, this is definitely the game to keep on your list.
How could I forget? Whoa, guys. Last week, my mom found a package on her doorstep. Wait, our Bloomin' Rage? We haven't heard anything.
Another awesome RPG coming out this month is Avowed, and this is going to drop you into the world of Eora, the same universe as Pillars of Eternity. This time you're in the Living Lands, fighting to stop the Dream Scourge plague. As an envoy though, you'll discover secrets that tie the land itself to the disaster. You won't be going on the adventure alone though. Recruit companions like the scientist Gyara or a soldier Kai, each with their own quests and skills. The quests give you freedom. You can choose how to start them, tackle dungeons from different angles, and even make choices that will affect your entire journey. The character you pick at the beginning as well will influence the whole gameplay and how NPCs react, so no story should be the exact same. The Yakuza series has always been wild, and like a dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is no exception. After a crazy battle and infinite wealth, Goro Majima washes up on a deserted island with no memory of who he is. Teaming up with Noah, the guy who saved him, Majima is on a quest to figure out his past, to deal with pirates, treasure, and all kinds of chaos. In this entry, we're getting back to that classic Yakuza beat-em-up combat. Majima is going to switch between Mad Dog and Sea Dog styles, and you've got all tons of side content like crazy delivery, dragon kart racing, and even some photography stuff. It's really got that infinite wealth feel, so expect some weird fun activities and get ready for one crazy pirate adventure.
The twin fists of Mad Dog and Sea Dog. Simple to pick up, deep as the ocean, with a skill ceiling higher than a crow's nest.
Stories from the Soul of the Gundog kicks off in space where you're a fresh rookie pilot who's mostly trained in simulations, but things go south really quick as your mech, aka Frame, doesn't disengage properly and bam, your squad gets wiped out. However, 4 years later, you're now a lieutenant doing security stuff until you're assigned to the Gundog. The game has a really nice retro green tint going on, and it looks like an old school handheld meets an 80s sci-fi anime. It really is like a classic Gundam story, and I'm all about it, so if you're also into cool mech battles with a retro aesthetic, this is a game you have to check out. And coming up last on our list is Monster Hunter Wilds. You'll be hunting in the Forbidden Lands, a world where monsters and humans share space. One side's pretty harsh and unforgiving, and the other is bursting with life. But you're a professional monster hunter, working with the Forbidden Lands Research Commission to keep things balanced while taking down the massive beasts. The big update though is focus mode. Instead of charging in, you can target weak points and hit monsters where it hurts for big damage and stuns. Plus, all the new open world hunting means no more loading screens, you just walk straight into your hunt. They've even added changing weather and seasons, so no two hunts will ever be the same. It's got everything you love about the classic Monster Hunter with some new twists.
To me, and I'll...
And that's our list for some of the top games coming out in February, and be sure to check our release date calendar on GX Corner because sometimes releases of games do change. I'm personally really excited for Sworn because I'm a big fan of Hades, and this looks like a pretty similar roguelike, but were there any games on this list that you guys are really excited about, or maybe there's a game on this list that should have made it? Let us know in the comment section down below. I've been your host, Retrospect. Thank you very much for watching, and we're gonna see you guys in the next Opera GX video. Bye everyone.